Hey guys, it's me again, and I'll be showing you one of my DVDs that I collected today. This is a parody by Michael and F. Studios and UTTP to Not Hack and Jeremy's Movie Wall. So without further ado, let's get started. We have 2012. There's a disc. iRobot. There's a disc. Ocean's 13. Here's a disc. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Here's disc 1 and disc 2. X-Men. Here's a disc. X-Men First Class. There's a disc. X2. Here's disc 1 and disc 2. X-Men Days of Future Past. Here's a disc. X-Men Origins Wolverine. There's a disc. Iron Man. Here's a disc. The Incredible Hulk. Here's a disc. Independence Day. Here's a disc. Sherlock Holmes. Here's a disc. Man of Steel. Here's a disc. The Hunt for Red October. Here's a disc. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Here's a disc. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Here's a disc. Iron Man 3. Here's a Blu-ray and a DVD. The Da Vinci Code. Here's disc 1 and disc 2. Dumb and Dumber. Here's a disc. National Treasure. Here's a disc. Zoolander. Here's a disc. A Knight's Tale. Here's a disc. Avatar. Here's a steelbook. Here's a disc. The Dark Knight Rises. Here's a disc. Star Trek Into Darkness. Here's a Blu-ray and DVD. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Here's a disc. Longest Yard. No disc. Captain America, the First Avenger. Here's a disc. Captain America, Civil War. Here's a disc. National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets. Here's a disc. Bad News Bears. Here's a disc. The Muppet Movie. Here's a disc. Bad Boys. Here's a disc. Rounders. Here's a disc. Super Troopers. Here's a disc. Matrix Reloaded. Here's disc 1 and disc 2. .310 to Yuma. Here's a disc. Superbad. Here's a disc. Good Morning Vietnam. Here's a disc. And finally, Wedding Crashers. Here's a disc. Alright, that's it for me doing this parody DVD collection video to Michael and Films and UTTP Do Not Hack and Jeremy's Movie Wall. So if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.